evening to you guys and welcome to the Business Circle. My name is Monica Kipto. Now we are at Nakuru Box. Nakuru Box is a co-working space in the heart of Nakuru town. I'm especially excited for the conversation today and I will tell you why in a while. I'm going to let my guest introduce herself before we get into the details.
My name is Rosemary Wacuka. I am the former project manager to Love Africa NGO, and I am an avid entrepreneur in this town. I also do Ankara business. I do such gorgeous dresses for women.
Now, the reason why I'm excited for this conversation is today because this week there has been a drive, Women for Women. Yeah, and I think this is a conversation that has come at a timely moment because we need to talk about women in entrepreneurship and how we can steer that conversation forward for economic growth, because I think women entrepreneurs are a resource that we cannot afford to overlook. Yeah, so how has your time in business been like?
Business for women, it's challenging, but it's doable. We have a lot of opportunities. And I normally say that this is the best time to be a woman in this century. I kid you not. Yes, you know why? Because there's so much for women and youth, if you ever noticed. There's so much grants that they are giving for women and youth specifically. There's a lot of loans even for the government that are coming up for women and youth specifically. There are other job opportunities that come and they say they only want women.
Especially for women.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can say it's the best time because there's a lot of opportunities opening up. There is funds, and because of equality and fighting for rights, women have now come up to start businesses.
Yes. And when you look at women, I think we have progressed so much that nowadays we have merry-go-rounds, we have chamas. There are women who are building a real estate here in Free Area. Women doing real estate. Yes.
So maybe you can give us a little background of where you've come from in business, like MLO, where did the concept even come from, and Ankara, how did you even begin? For women out there who want to begin this thing.
Ankara is a kitenge business. That is a bigger part of what we were doing in Taita Taveta. So it's something that I incline naturally towards. I'm so passionate with anything women, anything leadership, anything young. Clearly, and anything food, especially for the millennials. So that is clearly something that came to me naturally. Yes.
Did you do any kind of research and you checked out Nakuru and you mapped and saw there was need for this thing?
Yes, especially for the MLO business, because there is, if you look at Nakuru, there is lack of that exciting food concept. KFC came and they sell like crazy. Yes, so there's a gap in the content or the food that millennials would really want to, and people generally, yes, there's the need for fast food, and as Nakuru is growing, yes, so many people are busy nowadays to even sit down and cook, and people wouldn't want to even go to a restaurant and sit and eat because time. So this is it's a fast service business. There's healthy food, which is an integration of culture and ethnic food concepts, which when I talk about culture, we are bringing a taste of Istanbul to Nakuru, which is not a pro-local diet. Yes, it's an exciting thing, and I would really want people to come and see physically what I really am talking about. So it's something that we are bringing Istanbul taste to Nakuru as we integrate the culture in Nakuru of growth and a city-like feel. Yes.
So what are some of the things that you've done to make this thing local?
Let me tell you, we source the food ourselves. I am a Slow Food member. I didn't mention. Yes, I am a Slow Food International member. We have our headquarters here in Nakuru. So when I tell you that I'm bringing you a healthy diet, I mean it, because I'm buying our produce from our slow food farmers. So it's nothing chemical.
Is slow food a local?
No, it's an international movement. Slow food is the opposite of fast food. Yes. So it's a movement. It's an international movement where they steer ahead organic farming, organic eating. Yes, and really nurturing the indigenous foods. Yes.
So far, how is the space for entrepreneurs in Kenya, for women entrepreneurs? Let me add another one to it, young women entrepreneurs in Kenya right now.
What is the space? You see, Monica, there's a research that was going on. They were saying that women, when there's a job application, women normally tick until they have 100% of the qualification. That's when they will apply for the job. But men, when they apply, at least when they have 50% of what is required, they go for the job. And that's the difference between women and men. We try to be perfectionists. We try to have it all, first of all. But men, they're in the forefront. They wanaenda kujitetea. Unanipata? And they even did a research of the organization that are led by women. They perform better than men.
Yes. How interesting.
Yes. And when women are asked why, they say, oh, I'm just lucky. Ni Mungu tu.
You know what? It is because for such a long time, women have not been allowed to explore the world of business. Women are not supposed to handle money, or if you're handling money, unaweka kwa kitambaa, unafunga.
Chini ya kitanda.
You are not even allowed to invest it. You can't even open a bank account without like kujificha, because you don't want your husband or your father to know you've opened a bank account, you know.
I think it's an issue of self-esteem, or maybe it's how we were raised, you know.
Exactly.
I think it has a really bigger meaning of our background, how we were raised.
Yeah, women and money is such a touchy subject.
Yeah, it's such a, you know, plus you see women get paid less because they negotiate for less. And and it's a subconscious thing.
And there's a reason why they negotiate for less, because they don't think they are valuable enough to get that whole amount of money.
Exactly.
All right. Oh, so before we get into the details of how you're working to empower women in Voi, maybe you tell us about the challenges yourself you're facing as a woman entrepreneur.
As a woman entrepreneur, number one, I don't know, it's the perception, or there's a way when you are presenting, even in normal job sector, where you're presenting a PowerPoint on a certain concept, maybe to your bosses. The moment you stand, you as a woman, men are given more attention than women. I don't know if you've ever noticed. It's a psychology thing. Yes, you really have to work harder. You have to show more. You have to work long hours to prove yourself. But men, they just slide it. I don't know. I think it's the perception people have, or maybe it's the confidence that men have overall. You know, when a man, you tell him, "Hey, you did good. That project was so nice." They're like, I'm the guy. You know. For women, they'll be like, it's God.
Maybe it is God, but...
It is God in a way, but you really have to own it, because you did the work. Yes, there was God, but most of the work, you did it yourself.
Are you listening? Young women entrepreneurs, own the work, be proud of it, work like the boss.
Yeah, like the boss. But also, I think we have to also emphasize on the empowerment on men. I think...
Are they empowered enough already?
They are not. I don't know. I wouldn't say that they're not as such with so much power, but I believe that when men come from an informed point of view, they really take women from another perspective. Yes, they know that women have also a stake in everything. They have a different perspective in everything, and when they have them on the table, they bring another angle which you don't see. You're really getting it.
The empowerment is on the side of like perception and thinking.
Yes.
But
I think
for
it's
women,
a more psychological
it's more
thing.
than that.
Yes.
It could be resources also.
True.
You know. All right. So apart from like the perception of what people feel like when you are pitching yourself as a business person, what other challenges have you encountered?
When you see a lady on traffic on wheels, people tend to say, that's a young lady. We are gonna sponsor. You're really getting it.
Yeah.
But it's so different out there. You see, I've met people who have really done so much at our age. I am so surprised. There's a time we were having a chama with some ladies, and for them, I know this perception of maybe tutanianzishia tu biashara, I'll be okay. Unanipata? I don't know why women feel that they need men to push them. Because
Is that a challenge for you? Does it pose any kind of...
It does.
A different dynamic on your... How?
It does a lot because, for example, recently I was looking for business licenses from the county government. And there's just that perception on women doing these things. I mean, they have not seen such before, maybe, or I don't know. There's a way they handle you differently. Yes. If it was a man, everything would be done like pa 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 pa. But because it's me showing up, there's a face. There's a way they do things slowly. There's a way they tell you come tomorrow. I don't know.
So majorly, it's like what you're saying is it's about the gender, or no gender roles. Would I say the sex is the most challenging thing?
I think in a way, yes.
I think we can work on that by empowering the men.
By empowering the men.
Or is it also the women? Have you found any women in that situation also?
A lot, well? A lot.
Okay.
A lot. You see, I don't know, but I think it's the empowerment of everybody in the society. I used to say I am an avid. I preach so much on vision boards and really. I'm so powerful in manifesting things into your life. Yes, a vision board is where I do the old-fashioned way of cutting photos from a magazine and putting them in a frame, where you see it every day. You see your ideal car, your ideal house in a car frame. You're getting it. So your ideal business, your ideal man, yes, you put it in a frame so that when you see it every day, it's a prayer time. You pray that God might manifest all those things to you. And I normally say that everything I have right now, and even the things that I'll have in future, at one time they are in the vision board because they happen. Okay. Yes, and it's a general way of how God is to you, or your understanding of God to you. Yes, it varies from different people. For me, I believe that I am. My life is like a photo in this big canvas. I might not be able to see it right now, but I can see dots in front of me and yes, of where I am going. But the only thing I have to is to make the best out of these dots that I am in. Be it in motherhood, be it being a wife, be it in business. You just make the best of this dot and another dot and another dot. By the end of the day, you can be able to see the whole picture tracing backward. But right now, you just trust on that one dot as you go on, yes, and giving it the best, yes.
Maybe saving the last for best. On Business Circle, we are big on opportunity. So maybe you can talk to us about the project you are doing or we are doing with Voi, so that people can know there is something out there like this, and maybe investors can also come on board to spread it to the counties.
Voi Incubation Center in Taita Taveta is a women empowerment program sponsored by the I Love Africa NGO, which is funds from Korean government. What they do is they empower women who are underprivileged and women who are not developed per se. What happens is they pick people who are girls and women who never got to finish, maybe got to Form 4, or maybe to instill them skills to be able to stand on their feet, basically. They train them, then they employ them. And that's the same concept of empowerment. And these are the women who are less privileged in the society, women who maybe got pregnant early in age, and women who never got a chance maybe to finish high school. So it's a scalable project. We have done it in Taita Taveta County in Voi, and we are looking at other counties to do the same projects to empower more women and to bring women on board. Yes, so this is a project that can be done by any NGO or any potential private sector. It's a really something that really impacts women in a higher scale. I have seen it, and it's a life-changing project. Yeah.
So you've mentioned before that you train them for 6 months and then employ them.
Yes.
How does that work out?
So how it works is, you see, when you apply a grants, you get it yourself. But this is where they put women together. Then they put like an EPZ, like 50 machines on the row. So they train them on the tailoring, then they employ them. Yes, and this worked perfectly in Taita Taveta because they have a very supportive county government.
Okay.
Yes, and what they used to happen is that the county government used to give them tenders, like county T-shirts, county uniforms, hospital beds. They used to be done in that center. So it's more of a factory, but it's a training ground. Yes, and right now they're doing so well and so big on masks. Yes.
So they can source tenders from anywhere.
They can source tenders from any. Actually, they are now doing masks from the whole of coastal, from Mombasa, Kwale, Malindi, and Taita Taveta.
Wow.
Yes.
Very scalable.
Very scalable.
So is there any other area that you're doing training on, or are you guys open to do training on any other thing? Like you're doing tailoring?
We're doing tailoring, and in the tailoring sector, we also do computer packages. Yes, where we train the women on basic computer knowledge, then the knowledge on tailoring, how you can do design on computer.
Okay.
That is also part of the program. Yes.
Are you guys open to, if for example you got somebody else who is an expert in, let's say, like cooking or design or any other kind of skill set that will be able to help these women? Are you guys open to partnering with those kinds of people to still empower women?
Let me give you a background how we did tailoring in the Taita Taveta. They normally go to, for example, a county like Nakuru, then they try to find what is the best skill do these people need. Okay. Tailoring might not necessarily work in Nakuru County, but it's worked in Taita Taveta. Nakuru County, maybe they would need something to do with something different. Yes, something different, and maybe different audience. Maybe here it's men who need empowerment. They wouldn't bring tailoring here. Maybe they'll do something to do with cobbler, the shoe knitting thing. Yes, so it depends on the client and the project that best suits them. So we can be, so it's something that can be done in whatever county with whichever skill. Yeah, it's really dependent on the client.
And you don't need like a lot of things to apply.
Yes.
You know, these are opportunities. You can't say, oh, sijasoma. You can't say, I am old.
Yes. Actually,
you can't say I'm too young.
Yes.
Like,
actually,
what is the?
Actually, the project had women from 15 years to all the way to 48. Same center. It really depends on the mindset of the lady.
So isn't a 15-year-old supposed to be in school?
No, but there are 15 years who are mothers.
All right.
Yes.
So they've dropped school altogether,
they have dropped
or
school.
there are no resources to get into school?
You see, we come from a very developed point of view from our backgrounds. Our parents were able to take us to good schools and the best of the best, and we are forever grateful for that. But there are women who, their children, let me tell you, you see in Taita Taveta, marriage is really a big deal. It's a big deal in Taita Taveta. So once you get to around 16 years, your parents start pushing you to talk to men in a certain way, to dress in a certain way, because they are pushing you into marriage. Yes. And they take it with that weight. You can even feel it in the center. You know, when we were training, something interesting that I realized from them is that at 3, they used to even tell you, Madam, time is up. They need to go home. Yes, and to cook for their husband, yes. So those are the cultures that they are brought up knowing and believing that that's the role of the woman. And changing the perspective of that mama into, you can also make your own money. You can also help your husband in doing ABCD in the house. So that was also a part of the package to instill them the entrepreneurship mindset, and also to create confidence in them that they have the power to go out. Exactly. Yes.
And I guess maybe the question that is in a lot of people's minds right now is this thing scalable to other counties? Yeah. Are there opportunities? Okay, the opportunities that are available.
This was a project for women especially, but you see, this is the beginning. It's a project that can be scalable. It's scalable. It can be done to men, to women, to anyone. Yes. So we were looking into scaling it up in Nakuru before COVID, And we had done our research. We were in the process of finishing the paperwork. Then COVID and the lockdown, and our sponsors went back to Korea. So it stalled in a while. Yes, so we really don't know the fate of after this, because COVID really came huge, and we rely on aid from Korean government. So we really don't know on Nakuru, but these opportunities are there. They are for women who really, we are giving a second chance to women who never got it in the first place. Yes.
So is it worth it? Maybe you can tell people out there who, local guys, because there are people who can fund that kind of project here in Nakuru or anywhere else in Kenya.
Very. I can say that we did the first phase we used to do 6 months. So in one phase we used to do 50 women. So those are 100 women per year. And these 100 women, I wouldn't say that 100% got a chance to finish the program or maybe get empowered in that line, but at least 60% were able to earn, number one. Others even, they started their own tailoring business in Voi, and they're really doing so nice. Yes, and these are women who maybe had lost hope in the society. They got pregnant early enough, but this is a second chance. It's life giving them a second chance. And it was free. Yes, I didn't mention that. This is a free program.
It's a free program?
Yes, you pay nothing. You pay nothing, absolutely nothing.
That is absolutely fantastic. It is very fantastic. It is what they say about empower a woman, empower a nation. Yeah, you empower the society. Yeah. Maybe your last words, maybe to encourage a young woman out there who's looking for opportunity, who's looking to just start a business and they are afraid or they don't have money. Just a word of encouragement.
I say it's all in the mind. Mindset is something that is really huge in me, and I believe that anyone, not women necessarily, but anyone can really has the power to manifest anything in their lives. The thing is, we really put a limit on what God can do and what life can generally do or give you, but it's more than that. Yes. So many people tend to, there's so much opportunities. And let me go back to what I said on vision boards. Vision board, let me break it down. It's where you put your vision on a board. It's a vision board. So for me, I put everything that I would want, that would desire into it. And every time I'm passing it in somewhere that I can see it, so that every time I pass, that's a prayer time for me. And how I do it is that I thank God, because those things are going to manifest those things in my life. And I go looking for those things that I manifested, any opportunity that can get me there. And when I get them, I am a gratitude machine. I thank God day, night, because I know that's how it works. Yes. And in this town that you normally say that there's no money, I believe it's just the power of looking. There's so much opportunity that goes on. There are so many ads for job applications that are out there, but women don't apply. That's the saddest part. There are grants that women could apply. There are loans that women can come together and get. But you see, women, they tend to take a back step. And this is a point where I say knowledge is power. The moment you know, the moment you can take that extra mile, that extra effort to get those things. Yes. What I would want to say is the opportunities out there. It all begins with the willpower and the mindset that you really have. If you really want something will really appear to you. That's what I keep on saying, that the universe is there to put your demands and your wants into your arms and apply for that job, apply for that grant. What's the worst thing that can happen, clearly? And this whole thing of what will they say, what will they say, what I normally say is that I live for an audience of one. The world is my stage. And whatever happens, what's the worst case scenario anyway? People talk all the time, but generally people aren't even concerned with what you do or what you say. People are busy thinking about themselves, so it's a high time you be selfish and you do that thing for you, not even for others. Yes, you just put yourself first and you best foot forward and you put the effort in it and the work. And for sure, God is there. Yes.
I like what she has said. I like what she has said. What have you got to lose? Apply for that job. Apply for that grant. Start a business. Start it. Because if you don't start it, how will you know how it will go? And if you fail, you can try again. Because not all of these businesses that are in existence have always been good. There are challenges, but you can overcome them. Thank you for staying with the Business Circle. My name is Monica Kipto, and a special thank you to Nakuru Box, which is a co-working space in the heart of Nakuru. See you next time.